Hi there, I'm Chris Hanlon from theprofitwizard.com, and in this short video I'm going to talk about how to do networking at events the right way, how to make sure that you don't feel awkward, you feel comfortable doing it, and you get the result that you really want out of it. So let me tell you why I'm doing this quick video. This week we attended an event called the Media Mingle in Auckland, New Zealand, and it's a networking event that social media people go to. It was great, I really enjoyed myself, except there was a couple of people that came along or came up to us and tried to introduce themselves, but they did it in a very formulaic, quite pushy, very awkward way. Now, I'm not trying to judge these people at all. I've been there, I know what that's like. They weren't comfortable, so we weren't comfortable. So I thought I'd shoot this real quick video to give some idea of what you can do if you're in that position. You need to do the networking. You're good at what you do as a job, but you don't find networking the easy thing to do. Alright, it's not your natural habitat, if you like. So this video should give you some clues as to how to do that. So the first piece of advice I've got for you is throw away all those networking guides that you've had about creating an elevator pitch. Elevator pitches are just wrong, okay? An elevator pitch, as I understand it, was designed for the old Silicon Valley days with venture capitalists, and they really would grab somebody, fire a story at them and see if they could get their interest to fund them. All right, it was a foot in the door. It's not what you want to do if you want to build a business. If you want to build a business, what you want is a relationship. You want to be able to engage somebody and compel them to want to know more about you, about your business, about what you offer. All right, so forget about the canned elevator pitches and the 1-minute things. Just don't even go there. It's not the right vibe for a cocktail-like setting. So if you haven't got elevator pitches, what have you got? Well, I've been reading a fantastic book by Annette Simmons called The Story Factor, and she talks about stories, and stories really do make the difference. Stories are compelling by nature. There are a lot of things that you can learn, and I do recommend you get the book, and I'll put it below this video on the post as a link so you can get that book yourself, and I totally recommend it. But I'll give you a few ideas. So there's a couple of things about stories. You don't want to make them about yourself. You want to make them about your customers, I would say. Customers are a good one. You can have imaginary stories. You can have stories about a recent event or in the industry or something, and tailor it in a way that you know how you would be able to help that out, or how you would have done it differently, or whatever. Okay, so to give you an example, I might say, somebody says, "Oh, what do you do?" That's great. Let me tell you about one of my favorite customers. Sue ran a bakery, and she has got the best bakery ever. You go into her place and it just smells divine, and she loves it. She's just passionate about baking. She goes to all these baking things, she wins these baking contests, and all she's ever wanted to do was to have a bakery. But unfortunately, she wasn't very good at the advertising of that bakery. So I came along, I could see how passionate she was, and you know, she bribed me with some baking and stuff, obviously. And so I did this thing for her, and blah, 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 and the result was that she's now really happy. She can focus on her baking, and there's plenty of people coming in the store. Something like that. I mean, obviously that's shortened. What you're doing there is that you're telling a story about a customer. The person that is listening to the story can identify whether that's for them or if it's not. Okay, you want to put in as many little tips, little specifics, if you like, that will help the story along. Things like the aroma in the shop when you go there, she's passionate about it, all that doesn't add to your pitch in the story, but it adds to the story, and it helps get people into the picture, imagining what that's like. And it's really important that you get that and play with it. It's fun. You're telling a story, like telling a joke. You're having a good time and you're telling about, not about you, because that's off-putting, but about someone else or something else, okay? So that's number one, okay? Use stories. Number two, don't push your card onto people, all right? I get really upset with the way that people do that sometimes, and that was quite obvious. And there's two ways they do it. They either say, oh, here, take my card, and you're like, well, I don't want your card. Or they say, oh, can I have your card? And if you give them your card, they're expecting you to say, oh, can you give me mine? Give me yours, rather. So they just want that reciprocal asking for a card. Don't fall into that trap. First of all, don't take a card unless there's a reason to take the card. All right? They'll get the hint. If they say, do you want my card? What do you do? Yeah, not really. And don't give out your card. This is the key thing. Don't give out your card unless somebody asks for it. If you tell the right story, and if you put across what you do in a compelling way, and big if they're interested at all in what you do, they'll ask for your card. If they're not interested in what you do or what you have to offer, and you give them your card, they will just throw it away the first chance they get. Now, they'll ask for it for themselves, they may ask for it for somebody else, but wait until they ask for your card. Third thing is be consistent in your attendance. My friend David Morrell mentioned this, and he's so right. You just have to keep turning up. Do not go to one of these events, expect that you can hand out 50 cards and the phone will be ringing. I can see people sitting at home the next day waiting for the phone to ring. Ain't gonna happen, all right? Just keep going along. Go along, talk to people, get to know them. You're building a relationship with that group as well as, and some of that group will be your customers maybe one day, but you just want to build that relationship. If they're not going to be your customers, that's fine too, because those are the people that you build a relationship who will refer customers to you. If you like what I've said or don't like what I've said, or if you've got better advice or some other advice, make sure you put it in a comment below the video. All right, and of course, if you haven't already connected with me, you can visit the blog theprofitwizard.com. You can get me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at The Profit Wizard, YouTube channel at The Profit Wizard, or The Profit Wizard, and Facebook.com/The Profit Wizard, and also on LinkedIn and Google+. We'll put all those links up. All right, so you have a great day and look after your business.